dreams go unfulfilled, as poverty and lack of education keep youth trapped in a cycle of despair. But there's a glimmer of hope, a new beginning called Macheo. For students like Michelle, Saturday mornings mean preparing for Macheo's learning activities. Michelle joins other students from nearby schools every Saturday as they head to Strathmore University. At the university, students dedicate their Saturday afternoons to engaging in various learning programs. These programs include remedial classes in subjects like math and languages, life skills sessions, and mentoring from university staff and students.
Mimi ni msee wa mtaa. Nimezaliwa mtaa, nikalelewa mtaa. Kwa hivyo hakuna tofauti kati yangu na nyinyi.
This is NTV.
Live from the Nation Center on this Saturday, the 19th day of October 2024. You're just in time for NTV at 1. And for the next 30 minutes, to take you across the country to update you everything that is happening. Remember, we are at a high political season with the impeachment and the stoppage in the courts of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And my name is Ibrahim Karanja. Let's get started. And we begin with what I've said, that is the developing story and a planned swearing-in ceremony for Deputy President-elect Kindiki Kithure has been put off by State House due to an ensuing legal battle which seeks to halt the removal of Rigathi Gachagua as the second-in-command and appointment of Professor Kithure Kindiki as his replacement. NTV can confirm that there has been no movement this morning at the Uhuru Gardens where the ceremony was to be held, setting the stage for a showdown in the coming week. Here's what we know so far, and we take you through. We know that the Senate has gazetted the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and already it had communicated to the National Assembly, and that happened on Thursday night when that impeachment vote was taken. We also know that the National Assembly has approved the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President-elect and gazetted the same, clearing the path to presidential appointment and oath-taking. That happened yesterday during that special sitting. But a number of petitions have been filed in court challenging the application of Articles 149 and 150 of the Constitution by the impeaching and appointing authorities, seeking to stop the appointment and swearing in of a new deputy president on various grounds. Among them is that Rigathi was not accorded a fair hearing and that the process of filling in a vacancy in the office of the deputy president requires much more than a mere vote by legislators. We also know that a High Court judge has directed that the Chief Justice Martha Koome constitutes a bench to hear petitions. NTV has also established that in light of the ongoing legal contestations, State House has put off the oath-taking ceremony and may be moving to court to challenge them. Sources there also tell us that the oath-taking ceremony will now be held next week. Meanwhile, nowhere in the country was the now called-off swearing-in ceremony of the Deputy President-elect anticipated more than Mukodhima village in Tharaka Nithi County, which is the place of origin of nominee Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki. Residents have been holding celebrations since the announcement yesterday and were eagerly awaiting the oath this morning. But as our reporter David Mudhoka tells us from there, the celebration champagne has been put on ice.
We are at Mukodhima village. It is a village that has been buzzing with activity ever since news broke that its son, Professor Kithure Kindiki, has been picked by President William Ruto to be his new deputy after the Senate impeached former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And so I'd like to speak to a few to understand what they feel about the recent developments.
Ile kitu mimi naweza ambia wa Kenya ni mkuwe na subra, hata kama kuna mambo koti imesimamisha, sisi bado tuko na hope, na kama vile Biblia inasema, if God is for us, who can be against us?
Ana mambo mengi, mambo yake ni kutulia. Hata wakati walikuwa na Gachagua wakiwa wawili, kuna wakati ulifika Gachagua akachaguliwa na president na akamuacha. Hakusikia vibaya atoe matusi ama maandamano. Alituomba tutulie kama vile tumetulia sasa. Hata sasa koti ikiendelea na mambo yake tutakuwa tunatulia.
Kwa sauti ya Njuri Ncheke tunasema rais ni asante, na tunaomba waziri wa Interior ambaye sasa amekuwa kupitia mbunge ndiye deputy president atufanyie kazi inaostahili, kazi ambaye itaheshimika. Hata rais akiangalia naona kweli amemtegua ama amemteura awe ni kiongozi ya kupaa.
Asante sana. Indeed, it is a blend of reactions from residents here at Mukodhima, which is the backyard of the nominee for the position of Deputy President, and that is Professor Kithure Kindiki. The residents saying it is a matter of when, not if, Kindiki will rise and occupy the second most powerful seat in the land. And that is a temporary wrap here from the Mukodhima village. My name is David Muthoka, and together with my camera person Dixon Onyango, back to you in studio.
Well, a very good job there, Muthoka and Dixon in Tharaka Nithi County. Now, at the same time, human rights activists have criticized President William Ruto's nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as deputy president, citing his role as interior minister during deadly protests earlier this year. Activists claim more than 40 people died in clashes with the police and at least 300 others were wounded. But Kindiki lauded the officers for exercising quote-unquote restraint while enforcing law and order. The CS has also denied any shoot-to-kill orders were issued.
A group of human rights activists in Nairobi expressed dismay over Kithure Kindiki's nomination, linking him to the deaths of over 60 people during demonstration against tax hikes and the cost of living in July and August. They planted trees to honor those killed and called for accountability.
The appointment of Kindiki Kindure to be our new deputy president is a sad moment for our country. Today, a lot of us are wearing black because we are mourning, because at the time during the protest, he was CS Interior. We have over 61 people who lost their lives, and we still have no accountability.
Some residents of Nairobi's Mathare neighborhood also rejected Kindiki's appointment, connecting him to controversial housing demolitions along riverbanks, which they said caused significant distress in affected communities.
Kuandamana tulikuwa tunaandamania rights zetu kama sisi wakaji wa Mathare, wakaji wa chini. Sisi tunajitanga kama maskini juu tumetupiliwa na hizi serikali. Kitu ya kwanza, Kindiki anafaa shughulikie kwanza wenye wote walipoteza watu wao. Kama mimi hapa venye nikiongea hivi, mimi ni mjane. Bwanangu aliuliwa post election ya 2017. Kwa hivyo hiyo uchungu.
Mimi kwangu na feel hapo wamecheza Gachagua. Mimi kwangu nakataa kwa hizi grounds. Tunapata kama mambo ya demolitions. Kindiki ndo alichangia. Unaona? Juu ilikuwa initially ingefaa ipigwe 15 meters. Wanaona kama akapiga 30 meters. Unaona? Na hiyo pia imeleta a huge impact kwa community. Juu unapata kuna msee sahi tangu ile mission tokee amekuwa na mental health issues. Unaona? Watu wako depressed.
A research analyst suggested that the protest and their violent aftermath likely contributed to Gachagua's impeachment and Kindiki's subsequent nomination.
I think had those demonstrations not happened, I doubt if there would have been this effort to remove the deputy president, at least now. Whether the president would have again chosen him to be his running mate in 3 years, that's another issue.
For now, the Nairobi High Court has suspended Kindiki's swearing in until it hears a case questioning Gachagwa's swift removal from office.
Now, on a story still related to that confusion of the impeachment of Gachagua and the coming into office of Professor Kithure Kindiki, and the office of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has now sent 108 senior and contract employees on compulsory leave pending the outcome of the ongoing efforts to reclaim his office. This could turn into terminal leave should Rigathi fail to prevail in the courts. An internal memo by the Principal Administrative Secretary in the Office of the Deputy President, that is Patrick Mwangi, seen by NTV, says, and I quote, that following the ongoing constitutional process affecting the Deputy President, it has been decided that all officers in Job Groups T and Job Group U are instructed to proceed on compulsory leave with immediate effect. Also to proceed on compulsory leave with immediate effect are all serving officers on contract. The Principal Administrative Secretary has also directed all heads of department to designate responsible officers to be in charge of the departments and to ensure conformity with the directive by this afternoon. The memo lists up to 108 employees in the Deputy President's office whose fate now hangs in the balance. Staff in the targeted job groups are mostly directors and personal aides, including advisors and secretaries. Now, we now head to the coast region, and our family in Likoni area of Mombasa is still seeking justice 7 months after their 3-year-old son was mauled and killed by 6 dogs belonging to a local businessman. According to the family, the owner of the dogs, Charles Mutua, was taken into custody at Inuka police station and later released under unclear circumstances. Margaret Kimathi has that story.
The minor was playing at their home compound when 6 unmuzzled dogs belonging to their landlord, which were roaming the estate freely, attacked him. The images from the aftermath of the fatal dog attack shows that the minor's face was ripped apart, with his bottom lip and each of his cheeks torn off, with extensive damage on the right eye and ear.
Mimi nilikuwa nimetoka, mama mtoto amesafiri. Sasa yule aliyeachwa naye ndo alitoka kidogo kwenda dukani, kurudi akapata kwamba mbwa zaidi ya 6 zimevamia mtoto, yuko chini na zinaendelea kumtafuna.
Ni kifo cha uchungu sana mtoto alipitia. Hata mimi kama mzazi kusimulia ni jambo linaleta uchungu katika familia, kwa sababu ndo mtoto wangu wa kwanza.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Global Tea and Commodities Limited is by far the largest tea exporter in Kenya and probably in East Africa as well. Our group has employed close to 1,000 employees. We face so much of challenges. One of the rainbows in the storm has been Apsa's TMO system. The facilities which we enjoy has helped us grow our business in the last year tremendously. And together we can write the next chapter of our story.
Babies play around and then, oops, Morphix ina-absorb like whoop. Imagine, haiwezi live in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from a unique blend of natural herbs and is scientifically proven to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. Colgate Charcoal, the charcoal toothpaste you can trust.
Global Tea and Commodities Limited has been with APSA for quite some time. One of the rainbows in the storm has been APSA's TMO system. We just need to upload the documents and our job gets done.
Babies play around and then, oops, Morphix ina absorb like whoop. Imagine, haiwezi live in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Enjoy all-in-one payment solutions for your business with Network. Accept multiple payment methods and process all your business transactions on one device. Whether it's M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. Network does it all. It's faster, it's better, it's smarter. Get it for your business today by calling 0730-847-847.
We asked the children, how many of you brushed this morning? And this little boy, his hand didn't go up. And I said, well, why didn't you brush this morning? He said, my brother was using the toothbrush. If I'd waited for him, I would have been late for school. I'm sorry, I get a bit emotional when it comes to that. To be able to change a child's life, to be able to bring back that confidence about their smile, for me, is phenomenal.
You're watching NTV at 1. Apologies for that technical hitch, but let's now cross over to the county of Kwale, where final preparations are underway for the Mashujaa Day celebrations to be held at the new Kwale Stadium tomorrow. President William Ruto is expected to lead the event, and our reporter Kevin Mutai is joining us live from there. Kevin, what more can you tell us?
Well, good afternoon, Ibrahim Karanja. We are joining this broadcast live from Kombani Junction, approximately some 30 kilometers to Kwale Stadium, where this year's Mashujaa Day will be held. We are informed that President William Ruto is expected to land in Mombasa this evening ahead of tomorrow's celebration. Already, we've seen several government dignitaries, among other guests also, who've already arrived in Diani in readiness for tomorrow's Mashujaa Day celebrations. We're expecting to see some key benefits for the people of Kwale County, being the first ever national celebrations to be held in South Coast. We expect the people of Kwale expecting to hear about the key infrastructural benefits for the region, of course also a boost in the hospitality sector, and of course also means of boosting livelihoods in this region. I'm not alone. I'm here with my colleagues Lofty Matambo, Zainab Ismail, Karim Rajan, among other colleagues who've already arrived and are currently at Kwale Stadium setting up for tomorrow's event. Let me just quickly engage Lofty Matambo. Kaka, karibu sana Kwale, tupe mtazamo wako ama umejiandaa vipi kwa sherehe za Mashujaa hapo kesho?
Na mnashukuru sana Kevin, bila shaka ni hafla ambayo wanakwale wameisubiri kwa hamu sana. Na tangu tuingie asubuhi tumeshuhudia watu wakiwa na mihemko kweli na kujua itakuwa namna gani. Kumbuka ni Mashujaa ya 14 tangu kuasisiwa chini ya katiba mpya mwaka 2010, lakini pia ni Mashujaa ambayo ya tajiri wakati kuna mihemko ya kisiasa, kuna kivangaito cha kikatiba cha ni nani hapo kesho ataweza kumkaribisha Rais William Ruto jukwaani kama naibu wake. Atakuwa ni Rigathi Gachagua ambaye bado mahakama inasema ashikilie, atakuwa ni Profesa Kithure Kindiki ambaye bado hajaapishwa. Nafikiri ndo watu wa Kwale wanatarajia kuona itakuwa namna gani, lakini nimeona picha mbalimbali mitandaoni, tumefanya taarifa tangu jana, kuna mabadiliko makubwa sana. Wanavyosema wenyewe, mgeni njoo mwenyeji apone. Tumeona stadium imetengenezwa kwa njia ya ustadi, tumeona afisi za gavana, tumeona barabara zimewekwa, zimepigwa msasa, miundo misingi kweli safi kabisa. Kwa hivyo Tunatarajia pia mengi yazungumzwe, manake ni huu wakati ambapo kwa mara ya kwanza atakuwa Rais William Ruto anazungumza na umma baada ya mchakato mzima wa kumuondoa naibu wake Rigathi Gachagua, na vile tangu pia vuta nkuvute ya mpango mpya wa bima ya afya SHA. Kumbuka Kwale inajulikana sana tangu enzi za Salim Mvurya alikuwa gavana kwa kuweka misingi ya elimu. Je, afya namna gani? Tunamtarajia Rais William Ruto kusema zaidi na wana Kwale kuhusu mazuri hayo, Kevin.
Asante. Kwa hivyo tutarajia mengi. Asante sana. That's my colleague Lofty Matambo, who's already joined the team covering the Mashujaa Day celebrations. This morning there were a press conference regarding the celebrations. We've seen security officials and government officials coming together to guarantee those people who will be arriving for the celebrations that it's all systems go, and they're ready to invite President William Ruto. Just take a listen.
Kuelezea kwamba tutakuwa na milango miwili ambayo imetengwa kwa wananchi wa Kwale. Kwa hivyo ukiamka asubuhi ujue kwamba kuanzia saa kumi asubuhi milango hiyo imefunguliwa, na tunawakaribisha tuweze kuingia mapema ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba inapofika saa 1 wote tumeweza kuketi na tuko tayari sasa kungojea mgeni wetu wa heshima.
Wengine itakuwa ni mara yao ya kwanza kufika hapa Kwale, lakini nawasihi vile wengi na wakaribisha mjitokeze kwa wingi kwa wakati ufaao ili waweze kujumuika na kusikia yale mazuri ambayo serikali imeweza kupanga.
Well, that's it, Ibrahim. We are ready and hitting the ground to ensure that we cover a 360-degree angle of this year's Mashujaa celebrations happening for the first time in the county of Kwale. Ibrahim.
Well, Kevin Mutai there, coming from the county of Kwale, part of the high-powered team from NTV here, including Lofty Matambo, Zainab Ismail, and Karim Rajan, with a team again from the entire Nation Media Group to cover tomorrow's historic Mashujaa Day celebrations. Now, moving on, directors of cooperative societies have been given a stern warning on exploiting farmers and widespread corruption in the management of the coffee sector, which is fueling a debt crisis and crippling the industry. Farmers are now calling on the government to speed up on the promised reforms. Directors in the coffee industry have been accused of dishonesty and often misleading farmers by advising them to take bank loans even when the government has disbursed funds to ease their financial strain. Speaking during a national coffee farmers meeting convened in Thika, Cooperatives and MSMEs Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya vowed to clean up cartels from the sector, adding that the massive debts were crippling the industry, with the government suffering substantial losses due to accumulated arrears. The CS has also revealed that although the government had pledged to settle a 6 billion shillings debt, the amount had already surged to 9 billion shillings even before the promise could be fulfilled.
Ile bili ya cooperative ambayo iko kwa bunge iharakishwe, na tunamuomba majority leader hizi bill zote mbili, ile ya cooperative na ile ya coffee, ziharakishwe ili mkulima aweze kunufaika. Lingine ni kwamba sisi viongozi tumehamasishwa tuache kubebea wakulima madeni ambayo mwishowe yanatushinda kulipa.
Ile inatoka kwa banki, kwa benki wanaweka kwa mfuko, na ile ilikuja kawaida wanalipa wakulima. Wakulima wanafikiria ile imekopwa ndio tunalipwa, kumbe ni ile ambayo ilikuwa tayari imefika. Mnataka tuendelee hivyo? Ni kama tuna ukora kama huu, tutaendelesha mambo ya kahawa.
Moving on, the government has launched a major crackdown on illegal mining activities in the country to curb revenue loss from unregulated mining. This is according to Principal Secretary for Mining, Elijah Mwangi, who has kicked off the exercise with visits to several mining sites. The PS made the declaration while in Kazungu mining site in Kilifi County, where authorities also seized various equipment, including excavators and bulldozers that were being used in the illegal operations. The ministry has vowed to track the owners of the site and hold them accountable. Kilifi County Commissioner Josephat Biwott has also assured the public that the law will be enforced to ensure all legal requirements are met. This is a government initiative to bring order in the mining sector by safeguarding both the environment and the country's economic interests, according to the ministry.
We are here today in Kilifi County as part of fighting illegal mining operations in Kenya. We have had quite substantial illegal operations in Kilifi, specifically the manganese, iron ore, part of limestone, now in some cases copper and silver. So we have said that anybody who wants to mine must get the proper license that is issued by the government of Kenya. We shall no longer allow illegal operators, those people who are just doing their business without following the laid-out procedures. They don't pay the government royalties. We end up losing revenue as a government. The county loses revenue, and even the community where they are operating from.
From now henceforth, our police wetu watachukua in charge here. Zile mashini zinaweza move tutapeleka kwa Kansa police station. Sila iendi tutawache polisi wachunge mpaka tupate ile mashini ya kupeleka kwa hiyo police station. Nataka nikuhakikishia kwamba hakuna mining tena itaendelea Kilifi County kama una license. Lazima ufuate all the statutory requirements kulingana na sheria yetu ili tusipoteze pesa mingi kama hii na kufanya watu wa Kilifi wafanye kazi kwa environment ambayo sio nzuri. Umeona vile sisi mawe zimekaa. So hakuna njia ingine, we are effecting the directive immediately.
Elsewhere, with less than 6 years remaining until the deadline for attaining the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, the government and its development partners are racing against time to achieve key targets. One such initiative is the Kuza Jamii program, funded by the UK government, which targets 8 counties in northern Kenya. Our regional correspondent spoke to beneficiaries on the World Poverty Day for this report.
Mwezi wa 7 misho yake ndio tulianza, tumepata pesa kutoka Boma 60,000. Walimwambia sisi fanyeni business. Tulianza sasa, tumechaguana kwanza. Baada ya kuchaguana ndio tulianza hiyo kupatiwa sisi pesa, ndio tulianza hiyo business ya hii mbao pamoja na hiyo wasichana wawili, alafu tulianza hii kazi.
Today, Mzee Abdurrahman and his partners, Isha Alake and Zainab Abdikarim, are receiving bookkeeping training from their mentor, Fathi Hussein. Fathi explains the bookkeeping process in a language familiar to the group. For some members who did not have the opportunity to attend school in their youth, such lessons are crucial.
The program is giving them the chance to save, where they can access loans, credits, in case of anything. In case of their children, they lack fees, they can take loans they can borrow loans from the Village Saving Loan Association.
The impact of the Kuza Jamii program is already being felt by the group members.
Sasa nifile nilikuwa nafanya kazi yangu. Nimefurahi sana, watoto wanaenda duksi, wanaenda shule, msee analeta, mimi naleta.
The Gedo group hopes the program will expand, allowing more people in the community to lift themselves out of poverty.
Tumeendelea vizuri. Kila mtu anaweza ona, kila mtu anaweza jua. Wengine naye wanatamani namna hii ile wale ambao wanakaa nyumbani watolewe.
This initiative marks the first step in a long journey towards achieving one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the eradication of poverty. Nurdin Almoge, NTV, Wajir County.
And with that, we start to take a look at the sports stories, and Kenya's rising stars made history by qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations for the very first time in the history, thanks to a resounding 4-0 victory over Burundi on Saturday night at the Azam complex. Rising Stars created plenty of chances in the first half, but failed to convert any. But in the second half, they made amends and scored 4 goals to maintain their unbeaten championship. Striker Lawrence Okoth was the first to convert his chance 7 minutes after the restart, with AFC Leopards' Hassan Beja following suit in the 68th minute. Aldrin Kibet then piled more misery 2 minutes later, with his former schoolmate Louis Ingavi putting the last nail on the coffin in added time. Kenya will now face hosts Tanzania in the final in a rematch of the tournament's opening match.
Louis Ingavi. Na wakati huo dakika 90
And Nairobi City Stars kicked off the Football Kenya Federation Premier League Saturday fixtures when they kick off those fixtures when they take on Sofapaka, with both teams searching for their first win of the season. The early fixture has already kicked off, having started at 1 p.m. at the Machakos Stadium. In the other games, champions Gor Mahia will be looking to make it 2 wins in 2 when they battle against Posta Rangers at the same stadium from 4 p.m. with coach Leo Neiva happy with the team's development during the international break. Leader KCB will be up against Kakamega Homeboys. Bandari welcome Muranga Seal in Mombasa, and newbies Mara Sugar entertain Shabana FC at Awendo Stadium.
It was a very good time for us because we have enough time to prepare according to the FIFA date, the break. Also, we are progressing a lot on the tactical issue. I hope and I think maybe the next 5 games we can show to the fans, also for the fans, a different way, you know, about the game style, about the system. And for sure, we are very ready for this game against Posta Rangers.
Championship leader Thierry Neuville maintained his Central European Rally lead after Friday's racing. The Belgian Hyundai driver tops the leaderboard 6.4 seconds ahead of Frenchman Sebastien Ogier's Toyota, while Estonia's Oit Tanak is a further 1.4 seconds back in his Hyundai. Toyota drivers Elfyn Evans of Britain and Japan's Takamoto Katsuta lie in 4th and 5th place respectively. Neuville is currently 29 points ahead of his closest challenger and teammate Tanak in the title race, and he needs to outscore the Estonian by at least 2 points this weekend to clinch his maiden championship with 1 round to spare. The third day consists of 6 stages, with a further 4 to come on Sunday. And ahead of today's clash against Brentford at 5 p.m, under fire Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag said that media speculation over his job in recent weeks has been baseless, adding that the internal atmosphere at the Premier League club has been quiet. Ten Hag has been under the microscope for several months, with